Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome, and thank you for joining us for a presentation by Diana Figueroa. I'm sorry, I think I pronounced that correctly.
Perfect.
Wonderful. Her topic will be the quality mind, the inner journey from a human being to being human. And I'd like to tell you a little bit more about Diana. Diana is a globally recognized expert in human consciousness and organizational leadership. Diana is a global peace ambassador for the Nonviolence Project Foundation in 2023, with a passion for unlocking the inner journey of the human being to drive individual and collective action. As the founder of the Quality Mind, Diana helps teams and organizations understand and achieve their limitless potential. She is a bio-neuromotion specialist and master teacher yoga ceremony, with a focus on guiding and leading others in the search for balance and emerging leaders of the future. Diana is a high-impact philanthropist, volunteering with international organizations and passionate about making a difference around the world. As a keynote speaker for purpose-driven causes, she leverages her extensive network as a media professional to drive social impact. Diana holds a bachelor's in business management from Keene University and has completed extensive graduate level training as a master coach in high-level leadership development at EIDHI. As a former Miss World Columbia 1995, she embodies beauty with a purpose and has received meritorious recognition for Best Columbia Social Work of the World in Africa from the Nelson Mandela Organization. Thank you, Diana, and let's join her for a transformative experience that will help you unlock your potential and make a difference in the world.
Thank you.
Please go ahead.
Thank you, Shakti. It's very nice to be here at this moment, especially sharing experiences or sharing this about leadership, consciousness, and about the quality mind. So welcome, Adriana, Kunal, Suley, and Heather. Very nice to be here with all of you. And you may say, like, what it is the quality mind and what is about the experience that we share. And we talk about the quality mind as it is, as describing the word as what are the qualities of the mind. No, we all in a world that is a lot of information right now, a lot of books, a lot of presentation, a lot of conference. We are hearing one of them, and there is too much in a certain. And this is for me kind of a pause. I didn't want to do any PowerPoint presentation. I wanted to be a pause, and I wanted to be an experience for us in order to see what are the qualities of the mind and how can we really start practicing a little bit or being aware of what it is to have the quality mind. So among with qualities, we start about authority, merit, and respect, but with three beautiful functions, which is the first one. It is about what our mind do, what we do with all this information that is in our mind. What is the function of the mind? So the first one is recording everything. Our mind is the one that everything, if we conscious or not conscious, is gonna start recording every information, what we see, what we hear, what we touch, all information, conscious and unconscious, our mind is recording everything. The second function or the quality that we also need to know is the second part is what we do with all this kind of information. So the beauty is that we can choose the information. We can start looking about everything that we have in our mind and look for the things that we really want to have in the present moment. Or if we want to need it at any decision or need it in any moment in our life. So we can go into our mind and choose the information we need. And the third one is what we do with that information. The third quality is how we make actions. So we're gonna go through all this quality of the mind. I'm talking about one of the things that I've been working from a decade, which is about the mind living, how we live in the world, in the mind living. How can we discover this mind living? And this is all about perception. And then we studying that because for us at the beginning, it limits us if we are not conscious. And it limits us in the way that every second our mind execute mental processes. So many cognitive bias that influence our behavior, and bias that we do not recognize at the moment or may not be conscious about. And when we talk about bias, remember that it's a psychological part that enabled because of or determined by social influence, determined by emotional or ethical motivator, is determined by cultural implications. So these bias are recorded in our mind, and by being conscious or not conscious, our behavior starts changing. So the probability of this congenital influence our behavior is really high, and it's happening very naturally in the world. So it is easy for people to act moved by hidden biases, whose this effect can be very surprising because it reacts, and we react as a human being without notice all the damage that we causing to ourselves and toward the world. No, so that's the part of the limitation that we have in our mind. The limitation, if we're not conscious about, are we know what are the congenitive bias that is right now in our mind, and how can we enter to discover this congenitive bias in ourselves? No, and so we need to go through the levels of the mind. We need to be conscious about what is the information that I'm aware, what is the information that I'm not aware that is in the subconscious mind, and what can I do with this information, or how can I explore this information in my mind? Because 90% of our time, our mind is managed by unconscious, and only 5% is managed with consciousness, with the things that we need to do. So this is very important because 90% of the time is unconscious. And what it makes us see what we see and feel what I feel. And this is a question for us right now. What it makes us feel what we feel and see what we see. And here we talk about perceptions. I'm talking about perceptions. How can we know that we are living right now? This is a question for Ola. How can we know that our mind is recording the experiences that we are doing in our life at this moment? So we come to this question, we stop a little bit and we see, how can I know why my mind is recording the experience I have in my life at this moment? If we go through, we talk about our senses. And this is the part we love to show how our senses are important and how connected and how aware we are with the senses. Because it's only through our senses that we can experience life. It's only through our senses that all this information is recorded. It's how we experience and passing through the essence of our experience through our senses. And this is important. I listen, I feel, I eat, I sleep, I talk. Everything is about I. So who is the I? And we never thought about who is the I. I eat, so my experience in life is I touch, I feel, I eat, I scream, I talk, I listen, I see. So who is the I? And this is a question for centuries has been in the world, and for centuries, many masters and gurus have been talking about this. Who is the I? How can I observe the I? How can an experience observe the I? No, who is the main character in my life? I. If we talk about character, I am the big character in my life. So how can I start discovering this I? How can I observe who experience this perception through my senses? Who are the one that is observing that it makes me to see, I feel, I talk, I see? Who is that I? Who is the one that is observing? Who is the one that is seeing the object, feeling the object, of smelling? So we often refer to the mind as the body, but if we close our eyes and we make I wanted to tell you that if you can pinch yourself, there is just a pinch, you feel the pain, you feel the stress. And this pinch, you feel it and it goes away. So everything that we experience, it goes away. But only remain the one that is observing the experiences through in life. So our thinking, our thoughts comes and goes. Our pain comes and goes. Our feeling or sensation for cold, hot comes and goes. It never stays completely in our body unless we decide to. For example, if we have a bad moment, if we have experience an accident or anything like that, we are the one who decide that experience or that pain, every time we remember, come back to our mind and we start feeling again. But it is not there because it is not real, because it's already past. So that moment with awareness of feeling that sensation and being aware of this conscious moment, it makes us to be conscious about and make us see the life in a completely way every single second. Not living our life with memories and memories 20 years, 30 years. We are the one who decide, but who is the one that is observing? That has nothing to do with that memory that is bringing because it's in the past. So this sensation, if we really aware of how this thinking comes and goes, what is remain? If we start working about this awareness every single day, for every single thinking, for every single action that we do, and we present in the moment, we see that whatever we are doing comes and goes all the time. All emotions, happiness, sadness, angry, comes and goes. But we are the one who decide that angry can stay with us. So we're missing the way of life. So this perception, the way I feel my body, the way I feel internally, the perception of the world momentary. How long is this feeling present? How can I know that this feeling is for this moment? Or how can I know that this feeling that I'm feeling at the moment is a memory from the past that my body or my mind is bringing back? How can I be aware of that? Just by observing. So I invite to all of you during the day that everything that you do, or everything or an emotion that you feel, just stop a little bit, do a pause and see, is this a memory that is coming, or this is an action or something that I'm doing that is making my mind to remember a similar action in the past that is bringing me this emotion that I'm feeling. And just by being aware, this is my emotion at the actual moment, or it is not my emotion, or is my emotion for a past. And what can I do to change that action? What can I do to continue experience the life at the moment and not continue experience the life from the past? And this is very important. So this is an exercise for a question. I'm gonna make questions and you're gonna point it. This is a question from the mind or the part that I mentioned, or it is an answer from the heart. So the beauty of your smile, when you all are smile, the beauty of your smile come from the body or from the heart?
From the heart.
From the heart, okay. The strength of my body, when I do strength of my body, it comes from my body or from my heart?
I think a combination of both, honestly.
Okay, yes, that's a combination of both. That's completely true. My kind words, when I do kind words, when I speak kind words, it comes only from the words, or it comes from the heart?
From the heart to the brain, because they communicate.
Okay, perfect. When it is a kind, the emotion of kindness, but yes, you're right. The healing of an emotional pain The healing of emotional pain comes from the body or from the heart?
From the heart.
From the heart. My creativity comes from the body or from the heart? Creative.
From the brain,
From the
that's the body.
That's the body. And then when you're passionate about it, you can say, no, it comes from the heart. When a person is really passionate about it, it's from the heart. Inspirations. Inspiration come from?
From your higher self
Higher self. Okay, from the higher self. So inspiration.
into the brain, into the connection to the heart.
Perfect. But it's a feeling that you feel from the heart. That when you connect it, you always come from the heart. My love for my family comes. The love of my family. My love for my family.
From the heart.
From the heart. From the heart. So this is how. I'm sorry. You gonna say?
Were you saying something, Kuno? No?
No, I just said from the heart. That's it.
So we have this duality as from the brain, from the heart, from my mind, from my words. So we kind of, but if we go back to the spirit of the senses, and we go to the one that is aware of everything. So everything that we experience and we do, it really comes from the source. But when we connect it, it's because our inner self, our inner journey, connected from our heart, from our deepest desire, from love. So I think that when that happens, when we connected into the senses, and we connected to a higher self, all actions come from the heart. When we come and see, when we walk, when we wake up, when we breathe, when we want to think about something, from the loving kindness or compassion, it comes from the heart. When we want to any communication, even a word, our family, doing the sport, any communication, when we really connected and we start thinking, who is the one that is experienced, who is the one that is aware, experienced through my senses of what I'm feeling, it comes from the heart. And this is tell me.
So you're on mute, Suli.
You have to unmute yourself,
Yes.
Shelley.
I didn't work up there, I had to go down here.
Okay.
I was gonna say that the brain,
Okay.
the right side of the brain is what controls your imagination, your intuition. The big picture is conceptual, your empathy, and the left brain is the more precise, repetitive, that organize a lot of things. And we could never process conscientiously how to make your arm or your finger move or how to give a step. So that is the beauty of the human machine connecting, right?
Yes.
But the part of the brain is the big questions is always science has always focused on the brain, but in reality, it's coming from the heart communicating to the brain.
Yes.
And that has a new switch on the scientific field that are beginning to really research some of the connections that you're saying that are coming from the heart, where before they thought it was from the brain only. So
completely true. It has been scientifically proven, and you're completely right, have been scientifically proven how we develop our thinking, and it's reflected in our language, in the way we learn, the way we act, the way we express ourselves, and how we expect others to understand us. And this comes from many, many years ago. Since 460 BC, we talk about Hippocrates. At that time, the difference of the behavior and different stem of thinking through the four elements, water, air, Galeano in 129, four quadrants, introvert, extrovert, unstable. William Moulton presented with emotional stage, the differentiation, and what you mentioned, yes, about the right hemisphere is expressive, the left hemisphere is associated with logic, but all of that is kind of understanding a language that our mind has been recorded for decades, and it is there already, and our body function. But when we go beyond that who is the one that is aware of this emotion, who is the one that is observing all these changes, even though we analyze the left and right, or we analyze the quadrants of behavior of the people, or how we talk the way we talk, how we learn the way we learn, how we communicate, depends on the behavior of others, how can have effective communication as a leader, seeing how the other perceive. So who is the one that is aware of this perception? My perception, my consciousness at the moment, and how I'm aware of seeing the other person, how this person act, listen, react. Who is the one aware? So if we practice this consciousness to observe that, no matter if the person have a different completely way of learning or listening, no matter if we have the right use more to the left, or we creative, or we are more mathematic person or more directive, all of these come in that second place. Because the first place, if we really conscious, if we really come from our heart, we can communicate to everyone. Because we have four qualities that is beautiful: loving kindness. We have compassion, which is the empathy. And we have a third one that I want to talk today about, it is this empathetic joy. And this empathetic joy we forgot about as a human being. The empathetic joy is how I feel happy with the happiness of others. If we memory right now, if we have memory, when was the last time? And this is easy for mother, because mother, when they see the children, they feel happy when the child is happy. So they constantly feel that. But beyond that, how many moments during the day we feel a sympathetic joy seeing another person happy? That we feel happy because we see another person happy. If we remember, we don't have those moments anymore. We don't feel this happening when somebody in the street is happy. We say, this person is happy, but we don't feel this happiness. Where is this disconnection? So this empathetic joy, if we start as a quality also, start working on that. See how can we awake this empathetic joy in our daily life. See the happiness in others. How can I can feel this happiness for the happiness of others instead of many things. So that is beautiful. And moving through, when we come into this perception or perspective, talking about language and communication, and see how the others communicate, coming back from the heart. So we talk about who is right or who is wrong. This is the true or this is not the true. What is most important, dominant in a decision and interacting with our environment. So after understanding that it is not about having everything the way we want, that everything pass the way we want. We have to understand that if we obsess about wanting to do the things the way we want and see the things we want to see, and we will become obsessive into that part, everything is gonna be incomplete for us. And we're gonna not see what is true and what is real. When we start complaining and we start having expectation, we start complaining and it separates from the heart. So all of this about how can I be connected to the heart? What is the quality of my mind at this moment? What I'm putting, how can I be aware? How can I put, how can I select what my memory is having? How can I put that into action, if that is real, what I'm seeing is real, or it is a memory, that is a congenital bias that is really being a block into what I need to see. So what is true? So here is what I come, the human voice. This is an inner journey. How can I do the inner journey? The inner journey, there is hundreds of different tools that we can do inner journey. And I think you're familiar with that, with meditation, with silence, with listening. What is stopping us to do any kind of tools every single day? Because only by practice, we can start getting closer into consciousness, into putting down our expectations in communications, in observing what my memory is holding my life. But this holding is not responsible for my story. And where are my interpretations? How I see what is happening, if from which part of my being I mean interpret these things. If I'm trying to control my emotions, if I'm trying to stop any action because it's not happening the way I really want. So what is moving us out from our center? That is making think, see, talk, hear, listen from our heart or from a social circle. So many, many years ago, I really start having these stages where I really want to see how can I experience my life, and how can I develop this leadership in conscience into action? How can I know myself into the language that my emotional expression are dictating to myself? What is the memories of my emotional reaction I've been holding for many, many years? So I start going into many problems, relationship problems, problems with my mother, problems with my family, and I started studying beyond emotion, studying yoga, coming back and forth. And only then when I start practicing, spending time for what I really want. So one of the beautiful things as a leader is, am I clear of what I really want? Am I clear how I want to experience life? Am I clear of the decision to experience life from drama or from a beauty of stage? Am I clear of the decision of if I really want to work out relationships, family? If I'm clear about if I really want to see the world as it is in the present moment? So this question coming to my mind, and I start really having the first clarity. I say, as I say, I want to really have a beautiful relationship with my mother. So I took the time and I traveled to Colombia and I spent time with my mom and I sit with her for 3 months, a little because I was working. Every single day, my intention as a devotion, I put it alive and I say, what can I do today to understand what is happening? Because it's only through observation that I can see what is happening. So I spend time by listening to her, by observing her, by observing my reaction, my behaviors, my thinking. And that is the only moment that I really start understanding the ego that I have, the expectation that I have, and understanding also my mother. But only by spending time. Only when I observe, I come back to my place and I start my silence and I start observing what was happening to my mind and what was happening to my body with my emotion. So this way I can configure the new way through meditation, because neuroscience also have been proven that it's very effective. Reconfigure my connection, reconfiguring my neural connection through the emotion that I was feeling, my devotion, my compassion, the empathy, living to that every single day. How? I stopped watching terrible, not terrible, but movies that have to be violent movies. So if I am clear about wanting to have a better communication, my language also. So how can I be watching really movies that I have, or reading books that I have to do with beautiful language. So if I start putting into my mind every single day a journey that work out, I configure again my connection. All my negative emotions start completely fade through away. So this is about the self-awareness. And as a leader, we have 4 things that we need to work out: the self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and social skill. And when we talk to self-awareness, how is my emotional intelligence aware of the emotions that I've been feeling through my day? How is the impact on my body, my behavior, and how this can impact my self-vision? How can I develop my self-confidence, my feeling of self-esteem, my personal competence? How can I trust and have the ability to combine this trust in others also? And only when I'm in the self-awareness, I can be moving through my self-management. And my self-management have to do with this self-control, the ability to control emotions, impulses, the ability to remain composed and centered, to be aware, and the ability to take personal responsibility for my performance. The ability to take personal responsibility for my performance. And the ability to maintain this positive to achieve any goal in difficult circumstances. And when I do this self-awareness and then I move to self-management, then I can have this social awareness, the emotional intelligence towards others, the emotion perception, the ability to perceive and understand the emotion that others express, the empathy and the openness, the ability to consider another person's perspective, and show also openness and listen, the ability to listen and understand how this other person communication is coming from their body, from their memory, or from their heart. So I put myself also looking into that. And then my social ability, my behavioral intelligence can help me to develop relationship better, to maintain this meaningful relationship with others, to motivate, and to be also flexible. This flexibility comes with the ability to adapt to this new circumstance, and that's all the changes. And also, I also need to surround myself and change a little bit of my priorities. There are some that can be changed, there are some that definitely will not change. And how can this really can affect? So I have a handout that Shakti can put into this chat, which is some phrases that at this moment we can go through to each one, and that one you can download it and have it to you. And we're gonna read it over here before going to this leadership. So we have categories, this handout. You have the quality mind, you can download it. And this is a beautiful for you to have, because in these categories and what we're talking about, we have expanding knowledge, creating kindness, inspiring growth, expanding love, and being creative. And how can I support my spiritual growth? So I put 21 things that we can remember every day. Pray because it feels good. And when we talk about pray, doesn't matter any religion. We talk about the devotion that you have toward your actions. The second is live because you really want to. Have you really be clear that you really want to live? How can I experience my life through my senses? How can I be connected with my senses? I'm aware of my breathing, and aware that my sensations, and I'm aware of what I touch, what I hear, what I see at the beginning, at the end, when I close my eyes. I'm aware I really want to live. And the third one is Give all your love to others because there is a need. And when we give all our love to others, because we also need to experience this awakening love from ourselves. How? If we connect to ourselves, that is love to ourselves. If I connect with my senses, I'm showing the love for my body, for my life. If I'm connecting through my breathing, through what I touch, to what I see, to what I hear, this is love toward myself. So give the love to others because it is needed. Number 4, play when you want, because life, it is your gift. And this is a little thing in the number 4, play when you want, because it is your gift. So there is things to remember. We remember things during the day that feel good. We remember things during the day that it was not that good. But are we remember things that are really funny? Because the good thing that we remember, that is gratitude, and this is like when you feel really play, when we really feel good. But we don't have no really good moments, that also a chance to solve problems, to be creative, to overcome obstacles. But when we try to remember funny things, it's taking really fun and play, because life is a gift. So number 5 is inspire others to greatest, because greatest is within you. Number 6 is give, share, and love, because it is the right thing to do. Number 7 is help. Help someone because they need help. Number 8, live in the presence of being, because it is fun. Being present is fun because you experience life through senses. You are alive. So it is fun to live with the presence. Make good things happen because you can. Number 10 is touch someone with kind words to heal their heart. Number 11, lead by your soul, inspiration, because it is the life and a way of being. Number 12 is share your soul, desire with all. 13, find reflection in all the things, then cherish as your own. That's what this number 13, the reflection, is when we talk about the sympathetic joy. The number 20, find reflection, all things then, cherish as your own. We have a handout in the chat solely, so you can download it. And this is 21 phrases to analyze them. So we are in the number 13. Number 14, cook something because it needs to be cuddled. Number 15, be fruitful and multiply your love. 16, expand your awareness because growth within you is an infinity process. Number 17, get ready. Really, really excited because you love life. And make love because the most you make, the most you have. And making love is about listening to a person and listening to ourselves. Making love is being aware of what I touch. Making love is by the moment I wake up, if I'm aware of what is the first thing that I hear, that I feel, that I see. Number 19, know the truth in your heart because it always be there. Number 20, explore happiness because it is free. Number 21, feel the joy that you receive from being part of life. And this is an exercise to meditate in silence as you connect. Every time you meditate in silence, or every time you want a moment to contemplate, just watch and observe every long and slow, deep breath. And this allows the presence of love to flow through you. This is the only way we can connect. Because if we're receiving all the time information, reading all the time, but we don't have this silence in ourselves. How can I feel? How can I let the love of myself come in to me if I don't stop, if I don't pause? At the beginning, it's going to be hard to be in silence because all the mind and all the thoughts going to come out. But if I observe and I practice every single day for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and observing the other and pause, silence is going to come, and love is going to show. So leadership is about being present. The qualities of the mind is how can I practice the presence and consciousness through my perception? How can I be aware of this I and what is observing the I? This leadership comes with the oneness. Just by being aware of my breathing and my emotional state and the memories I have. This leadership comes into actions. How can I be aware to observe? Not only guide and lead others, but I'm aware of how I feel and the environment that I'm impacted first in my family, then to others. So here I come with a meditation part from Sharon Salzberg, which is the loving kindness, which is may I be happy, may I be safe, may I be at peace, and may I do feel well, and may I live with easily and find deep joy. But also thinking to every person at this moment, may you, Kunal, be happy. May you, Sole, be safe. May you, Adriana, live easily and find deep joy. May you, Shakti, be happy and peace and find deep joy. So how can we, through every person during the day, we feel first in ourselves this peace, happy, and how I wish myself to be good, and how can I think that to others? I don't know if you have any questions, if you want to talk.
Thank you, Diana. If anyone has any, Heather, did you have a question?
Yeah, I just thank you, Diana. That was beautiful. It was just a nice. It was nice and beautiful. Thank you for gifting us that today.
No, thank you. I just invited, there is all 5 more minutes that we can at this moment just close ourselves, and we're gonna give us 3 minutes of silence before closing up this meeting, 3 minutes of silence, and we're just gonna close our eyes. And we're gonna just connect in 1 minute. How is my breathing and how I feel my heart? Using silence, letting go all this information, and wish from my heart that I can experience life through my senses, and that I can be more connected to the one that is observing, than the one that is observing all my life experiences. How can I devote myself every single day with the joy and happy passing through a time to a being every time. How can I bring a smile to my face just by this moment? Listen to the silence. And how can I be aware of every part of my body that is moving at this moment? And it is moving because my heart is beating. My breathing makes all the parts of my body move. So I'm gonna be connected with my sensations. So I bring a smile to recognize my body, to recognize the light that I can see even with my eyes closed. A big smile of gratitude just by listening and by feeling and by being aware of a decision that I can make from now on. a decision to live my life from my heart through consciousness and apply the qualities of my mind. To continue every single moment. Take a deep breath, inhale and exhale, and move your body and awake your body at this afternoon with no time, being thankful, feeling gratitude, and bringing this beautiful smile to our faces. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Diana. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all for joining. If there's any comments or questions, we have just 1 or 2 minutes left. So I'm happy to go ahead and go off mute.
Truly beautiful and such a gift. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Chakti. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. From Adriana, she says, thank you so much, Diana. It was very interesting. Thank you, Diana. And thank you, Heather and Adriana and Kunal for joining us. Have a wonderful rest of the week and day. And see you next.